Hey guys, this is Caitlin. I'm here today to show you how to do downward facing dog. Now, as beginner yogis, I'm sure you've all heard of downward facing dog on numerous occasions. It's a very popular pose. It's done most often incorrectly, just from what I've learned through taking my yoga teacher training class. There's a couple of tweaks that you can make in your down dog to make it correct. And I will demonstrate that now. So please come to your mat if you'd like to do it along with me, or watch one round and then I'll repeat myself and you can join me then. So to begin, we'll come into tabletop position. Fingers spread wide on your mat. Your fingers, your pointers, facing the front of the mat so that you don't cause a wrist injury. Now keep your wrists underneath your shoulders and then walk your knees underneath your hips to start. And make sure to keep a neutral spine here. So keeping your pelvis neutral, you don't want to tuck it or bring your tailbone up. And then from here, start to walk your feet about a couple of inches behind you, tucking your toes. While grounding down through your fingers, start to lift your knees and then press your hips back and away from your hands. Bringing your gaze in between your knees, rolling your shoulders away from each other as if you're closing off your armpits, pushing back, tilting your pelvis forward and up, and then bending your knees. That's super important. If you try to straighten your legs, you're going to be rounding your lower back, and that is not correct. So please bend your knees slightly. Lifting your heels off the mat is not the goal to get your feet flat on the mat. And you want to form a straight line from your wrists all the way up to your tailbones. So really focus on tilting your pelvis forward and up and grounding down through your knuckles. So don't let your palms come off the mat. Keep everything grounded. This is a very grounding pose. And you want to try to find stillness here. So once you achieve the pose, take a couple of breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. Okay, and then to come out of it, come to your tippy toes, bend your knees slightly, look towards the front of your mat, and then lower your knees down back into tabletop position. And then you can just sit back up on your heels. Or keep going into your flow, whichever you had planned. So that is my alignment cues for down dog. If you'd like to try it with me, please come to your mat in tabletop position. Fingers spread wide, pointers face towards the front of the mat, making sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. And then from here, we're gonna tuck our toes under, walk our feet back a couple of inches. Make sure to ground down through your fingers. Start to lift your knees and push your hips back and up towards the ceiling, closing off your armpits by rolling your shoulders away from each other, grounding down through all of your fingers, knuckles, pushing back, keeping your knees bent slightly, tilting your pelvis forward and up. As I said before, you want to make sure that you have a straight line from your wrists all the way up to your tailbone. And then just breathe here. Make sure that your palms are not lifted off the mat. Really ground down. Come to your tippy toes. Start to bend your knees slightly. Look towards the front of the mat. And come into tabletop position. And then push back up on your heels. So thank you so much. I hope that I was able to do the pose justice. And once again, if you would like to take a video of yourself or some snapshots and to get some feedback, you most certainly can put that in the comments here. Thank you so much. Have a good day.